everybody. Oh, it looks like my sound is not working as well as it was. Okay, I want to make sure my mic was working. Hi! I have a new setup for my art, so I'm super excited to get started with the art stream. I'm gonna be designing, well, I say designing, I'm going to be painting some characters I've already designed for my Pathfinder game that I run for some of my friends. And I'm really excited to try this out. Got my whole capture card set up, but most importantly, check them out. Check it out. I got my Trinket Sorcerer editions in for my headphones. Aren't they the coolest? Look at them. I had custom added on. I got the vines, the moss. I got 10 tiny mushrooms and 10 tiny butterflies. Aren't they fantastic? I am so happy to finally get them in. Unfortunately, the mail service didn't do me any favors with how they jostled around the fragile box. Very annoying because a couple of the pieces fell off. I'm not mad at Katie at Trinket Sorceress at all because it's not her fault. Because the box clearly said fragile, and yet they it was all dented in on the top. It was like they, I don't know, played volleyball with it or something. So I wasn't happy about that. But I'm very happy to get my antlers in. This is the Arch Druid set, and I added the vines, the moss, oh, and the sparkly dewdrops. Vines, moss, sparkly dewdrops, and tiny butterflies and tiny mushrooms. Those were all add-ons. But the flowers come with the Arch Druid set. Anyway, I'm stoked. Also, since this is my first art stream, I'm going to be posting the VOD on my art channel. It's not going to be on my gaming channel. That may seem obvious, but I'm not dual streaming tonight because Restream wants money to actually be able to stream at multiple services at once. You get 2, and that's it. So not doing that. Also, what else? I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little funny. I'm getting sick. I don't know what I got or how I got it, but I'm definitely coming down with something. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? Try this bad boy out. Let's see. I also did a little changing things around in my OBS, so let's see. No signal. That's not right. I think I unplugged something by accident. Come on, buddy. I know you got it in you. It was working a second ago. Boards. I think I have. The only thing is, aha! It works! Magic! There we go. Alright. And yeah, you can see a little bit of my screen. I got this fancy iPad stand. I'm really excited about it. That's what that and the capture card have made it possible to do this. So, the character we have here is an NPC for my game. See, I know, right? Hi, Mad Cat. Can't work it in the first few minutes. Exactly. I'd be so mad if I couldn't get it to work because I checked everything before I started stream. So I feel like my voice might be a little quiet. My mic is. Let me try aiming my mic more this way. No? Is it not working? La la la. Maybe hopefully I don't mess anything up. My mic is usually higher, so. Anyway, back to the character. Hi, Warden! Welcome to my first art stream. This character is a dog person known as a Rougarou, and I, as proficient as I am with art, furry, anthros have never been my strong suit, but mostly just because I haven't practiced a lot. So any furries out there who think this is like super basic or atrocious, I am sorry. I'm doing my best. So I've got my Procreate app up, and I'm just gonna kind of paint best I know how to do with this sort of thing. I want him to be like a charcoal gray, and I think I'm gonna try to aim for like a kind of an anime coloring style with like cell shaded a bit. I think that's what you call it. I'm just gonna do my best, and if anybody has any feedback, let me know. Yeah, this guy's whole deal is he is the protector of another character, which if we have time tonight, we will get to that one. Flats. I'm so bad about not naming the layers. I'm so bad about it. Also, I did try some coloring. I went for a high texture, kind of painterly style, but I wasn't really happy with it. I mean, I like the colors, but again, the higher texture kind of seems to clash with the line art. It's almost like the line art's getting in the way, and I want this to be very clear and readable because I'm going to use it as character art for the game. I might experiment later and try to go with a more realistic style, but anyway, I wasn't happy with that, so I turned that layer off, and we're going to start with some flats. So what I have here is my Volcano Skies palette. It's always the Red Wolf Radigan. Yeah, I already, I wanted him to be charcoal gray. I kind of was theming him a little bit after, well, I say a little bit. I took heavy inspiration from Blythe from Elden Ring. So that's kind of, I wanted to go in the same kind of color scheme too. But even with this palette, you know, it would work for the Red Wolf of Radigan. In fact, I might, because you said that, I might add some orange accents to the fur. Not sure yet. But regardless, he's a Rougarou, which is a wolf-human hype, like a anthro-wolf creature in Pathfinder setting. Not like, they're not werewolves. In fact, whoops. They're not werewolves. The lore specifically says the mix-up causes a lot of friction and tension for them. And they actually hate werewolves with a passion. So, but, you know, I like them because they kind of give the flavor of a werewolf, because they can actually turn into wolves. Highlights and lowlights and fur will definitely be cool in semi-realistic dimension. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I'll see what I can do. I'm not really proficient in digital character painting, but I sort of know what you're supposed to do. But yeah, anyway, Rougarou kind of gives the flavor of a werewolf because they can transform once a day into the wolf form, but they're definitely not as overpowered, and they don't have like full curse factor. So they're really functional for players who really just want the flavor of a werewolf without all the lycanthropy nonsense. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just selecting large sections of the character with my lasso tool, which I'm having to hand draw out. And there may be a better way to do this, but like I said, I'm not the most proficient with character design in Procreate, at least not anime style or furry style. So I'm just gonna do my best with workflow I know. I'm gonna do color. Ooh, that is dark. That is much darker than I thought it was. That's better. Okay. He was like super dark. It's more of a shadow color. Anyway, I'm just selecting big sections of it and auto color filling, and then I'm gonna go back in over the flats on a different layer and get the kind of the nuance in there. is a pretty common workflow from what I know, but I've never really refined mine, so it's subject to change. Also, one thing I do like to do that I have found about digital painting is I like keeping in my sketch lines. I don't fully get rid of the sketch because I get, especially when I'm coloring, I can end up making it too flat because I don't see the cross contours. And I just think it adds so much more dimension. Every time I've tried to do just line art, it has not looked good. Hands over here. He doesn't wear gloves. Those are bracers. I'm not the best at drawing hands, per the usual for most artists, but a lot better than I used to. Did Ahmed Al-Duri's 500 hands challenge a long time ago, but I kind of rushed through the last several of them. I feel like I could have done a lot better. Whoops. Why did it just deselect? Rude. Also, let me know if I need to adjust my mic. I feel like it's too quiet. Because I'm looking at my levels on my screen over there, and it's just not looking like it's high enough. You're good? Okay, thank you for letting me know. Oh, Ella, what do you think? What do you think of my antlers? They came in today. I'm so excited. I'm so glad you love them. I certainly love them. Yeah, if you're ever interested in getting any decorations for your headphones, I highly suggest Trinket Sorceress. Also, her customer service is phenomenal. I think I mentioned it before. When I first ordered them, I didn't realize she explicitly states it on her site. Thank you, Warden. Appreciate that. I think they're amazing too. I'm so excited. Anyway, it clearly states that certain of the accessories that you can add on, like the little plants and stuff, are priced by the piece. And for some reason, I missed that when I ordered the mushrooms and the butterflies, I wasn't ordering a set. I was only getting one piece. But she sent me an email on the order confirmation to make sure I only wanted one of each. One mushroom and one butterfly. I'm like, oh no, that's not what I wanted. And these were not like cheap. These are pieces of, 3D printed art that she assembles herself. So, they weren't exactly like, they're not $10 trash from Temu or anything. So I would have been very upset to finally get them in and them not be what I wanted. So I was very, very happy that she reached out to me to confirm, because I'm guessing I'm not the only one who's made that mistake. Love shopping small artists and honest business owners. Absolutely. There's such a dearth of that in today's world. Okay, I just realized some of my line art is still the wrong color. When I started out with this one, I didn't realize I was lining it in a shade of dark green, but once I recolored the lines, I might have to mute for a little bit. Give me 1 second. To pass the time, here's something dumb. Sometimes I forget y'all can't hear me and I start doing dishes. I gotta mute myself as if I'm the one on FaceTime. Better safe than sorry, though, right? This is private conversation. Girl, it already was. You know, it's kind of funny how far I've come as far as letting people watch me do art. I've never minded it conceptually, but there was this phenomenon I ran into countless times when I was a teenager, which is when I would do any kind of character art. You know, you start with a base figure before you ever move on to like the shape of the hair and the shape of the clothes. But apparently this was a complete foreign concept to literally anybody, mainly my siblings, but who would look over my shoulder, and they would always come up in the basic construction phase, and they'd ask the stupid question like, why do they have no face? Why are they bald? And the classic one that I got so sick of hearing that I whoopsies, ignore that. I don't know how to turn off notifications on my iPad. Let me figure that out real quick. I thought turning it on silent would turn off notifications. It does not. D&D. Yeah. But the thing is, like, my siblings would then say, oh, yeah, I did that, and it just didn't work. I thought I did, or at least maybe I... Okay, give me a second. Let me see what I can switch it to. Anyway, they'd always come up and ask, why are they naked? Oops, wrong. Where'd it go? There we go. That's not going to confuse me at all. Alright, let's try to find this do not disturb button. iPad or iOS keeps flipping, changing their UI, and I'm sick of it. Every time they update, they mess with my UI. How many wolves do you see in pantsuits on the daily? Yeah, that is a pretty, like, every time I've seen any kind of anthro art, they put them in a suit. But yeah, it doesn't matter what you're drawing. If it's figurative, you start out naked. That's the way it works. And I wasn't even drawing any kind of nudity. It was just literally the Barbie or Ken doll figure. And they were like, why are they naked? Acting like I was creepy. I finally tell my siblings, you're not allowed to watch me draw anymore. Figure out, no, that ain't it. I genuinely don't know how to put this thing in Do Not Disturb. Hey, Mad Cat. You'd know. Care to relay some instructions? Also, body and form studies, though I avoided myself because I'm being lazy on my training side. Yeah, well, as a teenager, I didn't even do form studies because of that phenomenon. Thank you. That helps. Thank you so much. I didn't know they changed it to focus mode. If y'all wonder why I keep muting, I've got some background noise stuff going on that I'm just trying to, mitigate a little bit. So, enjoy the music. Assuming y'all can hear it. Y'all hear the music, right? Focus, focus. Nobody answered. Y'all do hear the music, right? Make sure I get back on the correct layer. Worst thing ever is doing a whole bunch of work and having to undo it because you did it on the wrong layer. Maybe like being too picky over details, but really trying to get the flats the right base, like all over the place. Then I can edit later. I'm trying to figure out exactly what shade his clothes are gonna be. He's got a very basic belt. I could probably add some extra ornamentation. Maybe once the flats are done, I'll go back into the line art and maybe decorate some things. What do y'all think? Because I kind of feel like his bracers and his belt need more work, but I don't know if that should just be pure color or line art first. Not sure. Whoopsies. Dark tufts of furring. Maybe this is a weird thing to think. Whoops, I just realized that is too dark a shade. It's gonna blend in with the line art. Let's try a little bit up here. Let's take it a bit warmer. Yeah, there we go. Maybe a little bit on the warm side of gray. Oh yeah, maybe this is a weird thing to ask, but I've always kind of wondered if I could cut it as a furry artist. Because it's a very, very popular art demographic. And I like anthros. I don't know how I feel about that brown. It looks very brown next to his gray. Back down. There we go. It's still brownish, but alright, let's maybe take it this direction, a little bit lighter. Now, that's the same as his body. Okay, maybe a little darker. No! There we go. That's better. That's better. I am gonna shade that with the black, but the black is the same black as the line art. Anyway, I wonder if I could cut it as a furry artist. Now, obviously, I wouldn't want to do NSFW furry art, despite that being where the real money's made. But isn't that where the real money's always made? In every category? At least creative category. And people, like, if you become quote-unquote a furry artist, that's what people are going to assume about you. Regardless if it's true. That's what's a little annoying about the label. But honestly, that's the annoying thing about any label, even if it serves you, is the assumptions people make. Is what it is. You have to be comfortable being misunderstood. If you're gonna be yourself, you gotta realize you're not it for everybody. And people are gonna think things that may or may not be true. And that's regardless of whatever decisions you're making in life. Alright, that looks pretty good. Might add some of that. Nope, that's for detailing. And flats right now. Griffin, we're doing flats. The music is a little loud compared. Okay, thank you. How's that? Better? Ugh, my throat hurts. I've got my approximation of a hot toddy in here. Even though it's not hot anymore. Also, pardon the Frito chip ASMR. Alright. What are we doing? You know I said that about... Okay, never mind. I was like, oh, I lost the sketch under the flats. I'm like, no I didn't. I put the sketch over the flats. Big brain. Alright, what are we gonna do with this belt? That's the tastiest crunch I've ever heard. Well, I'm not eating pickles, unfortunately. That would have been a really funny reference if I was eating pickles. Alright. I'm trying to figure... Oopsies. I don't have my digital glove. I lost it a while ago. Probably need to order some more. Just haven't had a reason to. Anyway, this guy is very much like overly serious, but you know, he's a diehard protector of the person he's sworn his loyalty to, and his name is Mishael Beowulf. Oops. There we go. Yeah, one of my favorite things about, call it. No, go back. Full screen. Thank you. What do you call it? Procreate. He has the ability to, just use the eyedropper tool with pressure. So nice. Also, I don't think anybody can accuse me of AI if I'm streaming my work and you're watching me with my pencil drawing it. Again, not that I care what some people think. Whoa, okay. Give me a second. I cannot see that entire chat. There we go. Tropes like that I like with creatures like this are whatever personality they have sometimes goes out the window when they act overly excited and loyal. Tropes I don't like when an anime when they make the individual say woof over and over again in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, you want like kind of dog-like eagerness traits without having just overly cartoonish bits that kind of just get annoying very quickly. What was that in? Was it My Hero Academia that had the dog police commissioner that would say wolf all the time? Was that a different anime? Either that or Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know. I didn't watch much of Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. Let's see. Completely completely unrelated to my sore throat. I'm learning how to fry scream when when I sing with my music. My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z, and a variety of others. Really? That many? Guess that is. I mean, it would have to be that many to be a trope. Man, my throat hurts. Yeah, I really want to take voice lessons someday when I have the funds. Oh, we got a bit of an error in my, what do you call this? Line art. Overlap here is bugging me right here. I did say a trope. You did. I was the one who only could think of one. Alright. Using a pin. That ain't it. Is it bronze wing? Maybe. But wrong color. And it's a little thin. By thin, I mean like opacity, not like width. There we go. Ah, that ain't it. That ain't it, Chief. There we go. Back to the correct layer. I do want to bring in some of that two-toned effect like I had in the more naturalistic fur coloration, but I did not like it. I might need to see some references and just kind of have a reference up in the background for the fur. But we'll worry about that when I finish the flats. I'm procrastinating. Pants and the belt. I think we're gonna keep it pretty basic with both of these. That color we rejected earlier for the hair, that brown, I think that'd be good. He has very muted colors. Not a very fancy guy. I want him to kind of be like a what you see is what you get kind of person. That's new. I have never seen it invert like that. That was weird. Let's hit that button. There we go. Alright, I think we can go a little bit lighter on the pants. I don't think I want to add any or like too many signs of violence, but maybe some signs of disregard for hygiene. We're gonna do a belt buckle. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I was trying to decide if I needed to put it in on the line art and then color it in, or just do it with color. I think I need to go back in and add detail in the line art. But I'm already doing flats, so I'll do that first. And then I can go back and add in line art as needed. Of course, that means I'm going to have to edit the flats again. But whatever, it's fine. I'm trying to stay on task. I'm so easily distracted. Let's see. Let's do this, like, kind of beige color. Also do the sword. Now, the sword I feel like is going to be somewhat of the focal point of the piece because it has like red sigils that pop up when it's used. Also, if you made the van braces leather, it would be a nice touch to add the fastening threads on the inside of the left arm. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, the magic item he's wearing in Pathfinder is called the bracers of armor, but they're not the best quality of the bracers of armor that you can get. So I've been trying to figure out how ornate I want them to be. Like, they're a magic item, but they're not like premium magic item. Nope. Gotta get all that color in. Yeah, I see that line art, like, was Little thin. That or it could be the break in the sketch, because I had to edit my sketch a little bit because here I actually have it here. I kind of had it out of proportion, and when I took it into digital, I could see it a lot more clearly. Speaking of seeing things more clearly, make sure he still works when you flip him. I think so. I mean, that other leg could do with going back a little bit. See, I always forget to do this. This is such an important step. You're always going to have some distortions or bias. Alright, so we're going to select this leg. And we're going to take off color fill. This. And we're going to distort. And we're just going to move it slightly. And you can see the break in my sketch. I'm doing this. There we go. It's got a bit of a wider stance. Whoopsies. I don't think he needs to be... There we go. That way is more of an angle, and you can see that one foot is definitely closer than the other. Yep. Anyway, you can do stuff like that with digital, which is nice because let me find the... I feel like with that sword, it doesn't do slashing damage, more like bludgeoning damage. Agreed. Really the idea of a sword. Exactly. I said it was like a giant kitchen knife when I described it. So here's my sketch. I don't know if y'all can see that very well. Let me switch to my camera. But his upper body is a lot bigger than his lower body. And I felt like he kind of looked disproportionate, like he had dwarfism or something, where his torso was like way too long and thick compared to his hips. Not to like point any fingers at anybody who has dwarfism. It's just that was not my intention. And anyway, you can edit that. No, I'm not gonna give him boots. Are you gonna give him boots? I did not go through all the work of drawing all those claws just to cover him up with boots. Also, like, how would a wolfman wear boots? Feels like it'd be uncomfortable since they don't have retractable claws. Also, I'm curious, oh, never mind, the brightness is already up. What do I know? Anyway, you can see the break in my sketch now, but I can fix it. So we're gonna actually take the line art, fix it. Easy. Even horses have horseshoes. Well, yeah. But have you seen a dog wear boots? They walk funny. And then, I don't know what I'm going to bother with the sketch. I might just blend it a little bit. Just a little. Not to hide the break, but to make it a little less obvious. Hiding the break. Yes, huskies. They put boots on huskies? And that works? They're more like socks to keep snow from melting and freezing between their toes. Oh, I got it. Oh, right. Okay, we can go back to normal. This is the intended pose. Now I feel like his knee is too high. That's good old Super Mario World. Gotta warp back in. Now his knee is like... I don't think his knee is supposed to be higher. There we go. That's what I neglected the last time. Sent it back without sending it across. Far. Scooch that in. There we go. Is it perfect? No, but wabi sabi, I don't care. That's better. That's better. Now this is that's okay. I can fix that. Yeah, see, that's actually the problem with digital. It's almost too easy to fix. So you can be like stuck fixing something forever instead of just finishing it. So, you know. I'd like to see an animation done as a reaction video style of the character you're drawing, reacting in pain to being redrawn in areas. I feel like that would be funny. Oh no. Okay, somebody has got to have done that. Okay. I see a bit of a problem. Yeah, I feel like somebody has got to have done that. I've seen animators do stuff that's similar, but never like to be. But it's gotta be out there. Oh, there's the sketch. No, you shortened my leg. Or it could be a riff video where they look like, you made me look like that. Oh no, my poor characters. No, this guy already deals with enough, clearly. Because in the game we played, it was kind of a nightmare for him. He just kind of, like, he's a frontliner. So he kind of gets the brunt of things, but it was especially bad. He really did get the brunt. Yeah, I know it's probably not what most people, like, as far as the sketch goes, because I took a photo of it. I didn't, like, scan it. So I didn't remove a ton of the background except for the lines. I don't know how to do that in Procreate without wiping out my lines. Alright, those Van braces, or bracers of armor. Let's figure out what color they're gonna be. I mean, they're gonna be brown because of leather, but... Oh, wait, are we on flats? We weren't on flats. See? That's how it happens, chat. That's how it happens. Alright. Let's go for a little bit more red and a little bit... There we go. A little bit warmer. Detail them with gold. I'm not sure yet. Color fill. Thank you. Stop it. Yeah, I have to unselect it and deselect it so I don't accidentally. If I make an error and undo, it'll undo the whole thing. I think that's nice. I think that looks good so far. I gotta do his eyes though. His eyes are emerald green. So we're gonna go straight right here. Emerald is more of a cool color. Almost like heading towards blue. And I see now where I need to blacken the line art in. Or just blacken the shade. Doesn't seem like much, but it makes a lot of difference. There we go. Cool. We are getting somewhere. Now, let's go add in some fun details. So we're actually going to turn off the flats layer, go back to lines, choose our pin. I think we're going to pick a different pin. Let's see. Ooh, this one kind of has the smoothness thing going on. When you zoom in too much, it's pixelated. Let's try this one. Oh, they're all going to be that way, I guess. Yeah, Procreate had a big update a while back. Thank you. My husband brought me some mint gum. These things pack a minty punch. They don't last long flavor-wise, but help my throat. Really Hurts. Thank you, baby. Anyway. I don't remember what I was saying now. Bronze Wing, that's what I was doing the first time. Oh yeah, Procreate had a big update, and they changed all their basic brushes. But thankfully, I can still go back to my original library, which is where I had a ton of downloaded brushes, and a couple customs. I've never really learned how to make brushes though. Not really good ones. I followed some step-by-step tutorials, but never adequately. What is with that one? That one does not want to draw. Wow, that really makes me push down. I'm gonna carve up my screen trying to use that one. Whoa. Okay, I'm on inks, not pens. Yeah, this is the one I was kind of using for the naturalized fur texture. And I like it. I like it a lot. Come on. There we go. My gesture controls weren't working. Let's just use the Alpine. Well, for one thing, I forgot to add nails. Am I the right color? I am. Yep. Always gotta have nails. Because they're long. And now I'm finding all my little errors I can correct. See, you could be stuck in, like, production hell. Fixing and refixing and refixing. Forever and ever, amen. Just refining forever. Alright. Now I gotta figure out what I want the vambraces to have on them. While I think about that, I'm gonna make the belt buckle. So let's just do, oops, that's the eraser. Let's see, I know I have a gesture control to like swap back and forth, but I always forget to use it. Alright, so we're gonna do like an ovular shape, I think. Like a big old Texan style belt buckle. I feel like this pin is not matching the rest of my pins. Because it's like, now it's too opaque. I don't know. Maybe add some good variety. The other lines look a lot more sketchy. And I mean that literally, not adequate. I don't know what I'm messing with. I'm getting distracted. Okay, not by his abs. I'm distracted by details. Don't get the wrong idea. Know what you were thinking. Wow, I cannot draw an oval to save my life. Good thing I have Procreate tools. There we go. Thank you. Love this app. Now, I started doing a lot of my sketches, especially character, in Sketchbook first, because I find that I get a much better organic sketch that way. I really have a hard time when I'm drawing digitally with having the same kind of gesture and fluidity in my work. And I'm not sure why that is. I think I don't get as much sensory feedback from the slick screen as I do paper. And I know there are paper-like screens for that, but I've never gotten one, so. What should be on the belt buckle? It should be kind of basic. I don't want to draw too much attention. Maybe like a coin or something. That's a big coin. Also, that part of the sketch is annoying. Oh, no, we're not going to take it out. We are going to smudge it. I forgot. flat background doesn't capture the subtle shadows my camera got. Okay, back to line. Wait a second. Okay, yeah. Pardon. Sorry, I'm back now. Oh! I didn't realize you left. You didn't miss much. I'm drawing a belt buckle. And I keep getting distracted by like other details I keep messing with. I really don't know what to do with the belt buckle. There needs to be some overlap here. Ah! No! There we go. It's a little... That's fine. It's fine. He should probably have belt loops though, shouldn't he? That would make sense. So we're gonna figure that out. Like stitched in. There we go. Another one right back here. Stitched in also. There we go. Okay. This song reminds me. I was playing Ocarina of Time for my kids. And then my drivers for my controller on the computer stopped working and I never got them updated. So they never got to see me finish the game. Which stinks, because that's like my favorite Zelda of all time. Yeah, okay. We got a little bit of a problem over here. This, I don't know what's going on with this spot. There we go. I mean, his arm needs to be there, but I don't know what's going on with this belt part. I don't want to create any tangents. Need good overlap. I think that's okay. Still don't fully know what's going on here. I feel like I need to clarify this overlap. Yep, the belt's overlapping. So I need to erase this. There we go. A little bit of like fur there is fine. Now it's just confusing. Yeah, tangents are my worst enemy. It's where two lines of shapes bump up against each other, but they don't properly overlap, so you can't see that they're two different, like, clearly defined objects in a scene. It's very annoying. I'm hesitant to add the normal stuff that goes here, if you know what I mean. Even though it's a male figure. I don't know if that'll flag anything in the system, so I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Also, I'm not sure his ankle is high enough right here. Small representative. Fair. Hey, everybody's gotta have some representation, right? I think I'm gonna commit a crime. I'll swallow my gum. I don't have anything to spit into right now. Wish me luck. Wow, that used to be hot tea. I'll show you. You know what's funny? So I ever got criticism on how I draw certain furries. I could always just say, well, in my world, they're more like this, which is just a terrible, terrible, like, excuse for a not realistic style choice. If it was done unintentionally. If you're making a certain style choice, deliberately breaking a rule, or whatever, or going against anatomical features, that's fine. It's when you're not doing it on purpose, but you just kind of blame it on your style or your world building as an excuse. Like, in my world, everybody is completely realistic, but everybody's got their hands in their pockets. Nobody ever uses their hands ever. Then it's a skill issue. And nobody can at me for that because I'm also bad at drawing hands. It's very much a skill issue. Oh no! I had one little error, but the rest was good. I wish I was using this pen when I first did the line art. Whatever. I'm doing too many details again. I'm trying, at least in the wrong spots. I need to do the van braces. So, I think autism, life is a skill issue. I felt that. Real. Warden said something earlier about lacing on the van braces. Would that be like side to side? I think it would. Like it would wrap around. So it would be like this, going this direction. This song is way more upbeat than the current mood I'm in. He's trying to pull me out. My feeling sorry for myself for being sick. Dude. Ah! And my hair is tickling my nose. Stop! Alright, no! See, I used it, chat! I used the gesture control. Look at me go, I'm learning! Workflow efficiency. I swear I'm gonna be doing this for 3 hours and I'm gonna get nowhere into coloring. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have the seam buttons or laces. I don't know how. Ah! Husband started with popcorn. Thank you. How's it gonna make my throat feel? Doesn't matter. It's delicious. Find the butter on my hand. Oh, it's okay. This is my drawing hand. I can eat with my other hand. If I don't spill it all over my recording studio? I guess it is recording. Alright. We need a reference. We need a reference, chat. Give me a second. Let me try to find a reference. First of all, alright. Got arm racers. Fantasy. See what that brings up. It's probably gonna be a ton of AI slop, but we'll do our best. Oh, fantasy art. Racers. Let's see. Oh. That's cool. I like that. Give me a second and I'll show you guys. I find that. Ooh, that's really good. I really like that. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna pull this one here. And let me see if I can. Yeah. think y'all can see that pretty okay. Whoop. Where'd they go? Okay, it's these two I was looking at. This one, specifically. And it looks like it's an actual craft somebody made. R4CCS. Would you rather backflip over old people or specifically Amazon vans? Well, probably Amazon vans. I feel like that'd be a much more useful skill. Nice to see you. Is that Recess? Is that how you pronounce it? One is more fragile. And it's not the old people. Oh, sick burn. Yeah, but the van is objectively higher. I think I'd rather jump over that. Backflip over that. What about you? What's your answer to that question and why? Also, how do you pronounce your username? I don't want to get it wrong. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Okay. I love those gemstones in that one. I don't know if that's a little bit ornate for him, but I see now on this other picture, like right here, where he's got the lace up on the side. That's good. Even though that one goes all the way down the hand. There's a lot of options here. I don't even know, man. I just go by Rax, as in raccoon. Okay, well, nice to meet you, Rax. Welcome to chat. Yeah, it's not always as simple as replacing the O with the 0, is it? With usernames. It always sucks whenever the username you want's not available, so you find a cool way to switch it out, and then it's like, oh great, how do I pronounce that now? You would usually see it on the inside of the arm. Yeah, so like this way, right? Yeah, so I think I wanted to have that leather kind of suppleness, but with like a stiff leather. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying. We're gonna do the holes first. And maybe that's right. Rack says, you got no idea. Whenever I do graffiti, it's more easy to paint it than get the username for it. Oh boy. You know, funny story. When I was a teenager, I wanted to learn how to do the tagging style. Grades. Oh, hey, Mad Cat. Got another bot. Anyway. I wanted to learn how to do the graffiti tagging style. And the guy I asked would not allow, or the guy who was next to the guy I asked, would not let him teach me because he's like, first you're gonna do it in your notebook and then you're gonna do it on walls and I don't want you to get in trouble. And I'm like, dude, I'm an artist. I just want to learn a cool way to sign my name. Come on. And I was 12 at the time. I'm like, really, dude? Not that I have anything against like doing anything on walls. He was so afraid I was gonna go like out and get myself in trouble. He never taught me how to do it, and then I never ended up learning because I was so stunned by that. I think I took it too seriously. I always wanted to learn calligraphy, Warden says. Yeah, calligraphy is so beautiful. I've never sat down and tried it though. I really need to. I think it would really help me. That's the fun part. If you got a pin, then you got an opportunity. You know what? Maybe one of these streams, maybe I should practice. Maybe doing that, some tattoo styles. I want to like practice making Flash to go to like maybe a tattoo shop and see if I can sell some designs. I think that'd be cool. Oh wow, that doesn't look half bad. Ah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, I have some tattoo designs, but they're like from like 4 years ago, and I wasn't super like. Now, granted, I'm not super proficient now with digital art, but I was way less proficient then. So, I don't think they're a good representation of my current skill, and I'd like to make some new ones. Also, I think, you know, if it's not one you would feel comfortable having on you as like, because of the skill level, you should probably not try to sell it. unless specifically requested. At least that maybe I'm too perfectionistic. Or perfectionist? What is word? But no! See, I did it again. I'm trying to erase and I'm drawing more. That looks kind of cool. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's cool. Maybe I get some of the extra tooling on the side. Then we can work on like more of the decorations. So I've always found it funny that when people get random Asian words tattooed on them and they find out what they actually say. Oh my goodness, that is such a hilarious phenomenon. I can't tell if that's racist on some level or just kind of stupid. Digital art is so difficult, so huge props to you and anyone who could use it. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm definitely not the best, but I'm much more comfortable with traditional art. But I think a lot of that is just because I kind of fall down the options rabbit hole. And a lot of creativity, surprisingly, comes from more limitations and not fewer. And so when you're surrounded by options, you kind of just, you can fall into overdoing it and never knowing when it's done. Being able to do it by hand, though, makes a huge difference for me. Like, especially not using like the Wacom pad ones. I never could adapt to those. I only tried it a few times. I'm like, nope, I'm buying an iPad. I can't with this thing. So I'm really impressed by anybody who can stare at the screen and do stuff down here. I work better on like small spaces, but even on Procreate, I'm like, too much space. Well, you know, you could always like, if you do this, like really far away, and just treat it as a smaller space, that might help you. And as I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here for this, but it's always important to also do the good old flip to make sure your proportions aren't super biased towards one side, because I always slant my pieces. So it's always good to do the mirror check, which is a lot harder to do with traditional. Unless you know, have a hand mirror, which is kind of obvious. Oh, if anybody has any ideas for what I should do with this belt buckle, let me know. You know what might be fun art experiment? What? I am all ears. See, I really want some decoration here. One of those infinite zooming art pieces the galaxy is on. Oh, yeah, the vector art. I don't know what program I need for that, because Procreate is not for that. An award from a previous quest. You mean like a trophy? Or like a medal granted by someone else? That's actually a banging idea. You know what? I'll have to try it. If I figure out what program I need, I have to try that. I'm planning on now making Mondays my art day. Oh, dude, like a fox skull. Ah! That's a good idea. Maybe both? Maybe it's both? Yeah, I'm planning on making Mondays my art day. And then for now, the rest is gaming. A rodeo belt buckle given to a barrel race winner. A quest thing. I have to think about that. Yes, man, yes. Because the thing is, like, I'm not sure, because he's gone on adventures before. Like, we're starting on the campaign with him being 10th level. So there's a lot of stuff that happened off screen. So he could very well have gotten a quest reward, but I want to brainstorm what he would have gotten. I'm really trying with this band brace. Passed down from mentor? Maybe the person in charge of their expedition just died before the party came in. Maybe it's from him? Oh, it doesn't look like it, but he's also a caster. He's what's known as a blood rager in Pathfinder. So he's a mix of a barbarian and a sorcerer. So I want to incorporate some magic too. Rip. Yep. Rip. Died of mummy rot too. Messy business. Stole the belt from an old wizard trying on jeans. signs sent from their past leader to trust him. Those are all such good ideas. I have to really think about it. Ooh! Look at that! Just that little bit of erasure made a huge textural difference. Wowza. Dang, that one's nasty. Yeah, it's really bad because it's a curse and a disease. So if you have cure disease or remove curse, unless you do both in rapid succession, there's no hope. It's bad. Man. Let's look around a little bit. Where's that? Okay. I like the tooling here. The gems might be a bit ostentatious for him, but I do like the metal stuff here. So maybe, let's see. Let's do like this. I don't know if I like that. As far as the gems being too much, it really depends on where he got them. That's fair. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the swirly things, and we'll figure out the big pieces later. If we acquired them on a mission, they may not have been made specifically for him. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. How'd you guys hear about Rec Room shutting down? Actually bummed me out. No! I'm actually not familiar with Rec Room. Would you elaborate? That sounds really bad, though. Is it a company or an app? I'm a little bit out of the loop. Huh. That might work. You know, a lot of really good places have been shutting down due to, like, I can't remember what this is called, but it's when companies, like, buy up a company and then sell off all their assets and then run them out of business. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, that actually looks sick! To be fair, it's like a console version of VR chat, but it was so unserious. You could go anywhere and boom, 13 grown men arguing. Oh, I've never done VR chat, but I've heard, like I've seen clips of it, and it looks so funny. That's so sad. Why did it shut down? Just not enough support? Was the company not continuing to support it? Or publisher, I mean? Well, I guess the publisher's still a company, but it's more specific. I'm gonna try out the gemstone idea, but I'm not married to it. I think so. They just didn't know how to make money. Aw, yeah, because it's really hard. It's like when Vine died. Maybe I'm dating myself here a little bit. But Vine died because they didn't want to add a ton of ads. VR chat has always seemed like something that would be fun. It's prime meme fodder too. Honestly, any game with a prox mic is just meme fodder. Ah! Oh no, I dropped it. There we go. Ouch. Okay, maybe I am getting old. I just pulled my shoulder. As a kid, I wasn't allowed to be on Vine. I don't know how to feel about that. I genuinely don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, I got on Vine right as it died, so I didn't have any I just liked watching Vine compilations and things. I still will watch Vine compilations nowadays on YouTube, and I have endless vocal stems of them. Okay, something is off. I feel like my perspective is off, but we're gonna keep going for just a little bit until I figure out what's going on. Yeah, I'm so sorry that it died. It's terrible when you find like a real attachment to something and then it just does not get the support. It's very frustrating. do this little. Get that. I think my mom saw the Vine compilation and was like, you're not allowed to be on that platform. Oh, yeah, especially if they weren't the clean Vines. Yeah, that'd do it. That's kind of neat with the scalloped edge. I don't know if I did the right thing to, like, unthicken it, though. And by unthicken, I mean thin it out. I cannot talk today. Oh, man. There we go. Look at that. You know, using the eraser like it's just another pencil is such a useful mindset when you're doing any kind of art. Beware the unthinkening. So, I know Warden does, but does anybody here play any kind of tabletop role-playing games? Is this not just the Mario theme? Sir, this is from Zelda Ocarina of Time. No, it's not the Mario theme. Da 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 da. How dare you? Want to? Hubby and I watched Sword AF and listened to Dimension 20. Oh man. Dimension 20 is so good. Brennan is phenomenal. He's my favorite online DM. Talk about setting the bar too high. Like, I like him more than even Matt Mercer's style. And that's saying something. Mario? You said that just to mess with me. I know it. I know it in my bones. Let's see. This theme reminds me when I was a kid, I'd play with my cousins, and at the time, I didn't realize, well, obviously, I knew you were messing with me. Obviously, when you're a kid, unless somebody tells you, you're probably not going to pick up on the fact that you're neurodivergent. But all of mine and my cousin's games, we promise it is Mario, you just don't know it yet. Yeah, maybe if it's Smash Brothers. Anyway, all mine and my cousin's games were playing pretend set in other universes, so we always were playing roles of media we already knew about. We didn't really invent our own characters that often. Wow, that looks so good. Even if I do say so myself. I don't even think it needs a gemstone. Do a little more. Whoops. A little more overlap here. But yeah, we would always play Zelda, and I was Link, and cousin was Zelda, and we had like we went on adventures, and we'd like hum the songs like we were playing the ocarina. There's some good times. Some of the few good times. His hand kind of looks like Kalua's hand from Hunter x Hunter. You know what? Now that you say that. There we go. Let's be honest. Wielding a giant sword is probably not comfortable with nails that sharp. I wanted to learn the ocarina but I bought a ceramic version, which apparently is not the best. Oh man, you should go get another one. What's better, plastic? They make them in like brass and stuff. I would think it'd be clay though. Man, this stuff makes me so nostalgic. Kind of funny. And you get nostalgic for things that times you would never want to go back to, ever, even if people paid you. Metal ones would be cool, but the plastic ones are supposed to be best. Man, I think I did pretty good with that. I have a friend that plays it. Oh, really? That's cool. Yes. Certain cigarette brands. Oh, really? What about the nostalgia thing, right? I'm following. I don't smoke, but I had a family I don't speak to that did. It's weird. I think it's just because your brain, like, sheds a certain light on things that are familiar, even if they were not good things. I always find it weird when you have nostalgia for something you've never done. That is weird. That is weird. Yeah, that looks sick. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. The hard part. Making the other one match. My dad and then my step-grandma, different brands immediately. Recall. Yeah. It doesn't help, like, as an... Ah! Oh, no. I dropped my pen. Copy, paste. Maybe I might be able to get away with that, but maybe not. I'm trying to get it without dropping my antlers off my head. Because if these fall, I'm gonna have to super glue pieces back on. Again. Randomly chuck spin across the room. It feels like that sometimes. I try not to, but boy. I will say these do add a not insignificant amount of weight to the top. I'm still getting used to that. Can't tell if the sword is just leaning against him or if he's actually grabbing it. He's kind of just resting his fist, like, on it. He's not grabbing it. He's kind of like just pushing it. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna finish this one tonight, chat. I'm getting really noodly about the details. Alright. So. Whoops. Oh, I'll tell you what we do. We're gonna put. What was it? Canvas? It's only 10:30. Really? Okay. Okay, we're good then. I might. Reference. This is a great tool. Look, you can put your reference on another part of the artwork. Whoops. And it'd be great if I could move it out of my way. There we go. Now, even though I'm zoomed in, I can see what the other side looks like. Alright. The leather is on the in, or the leather weaving part. Thread is on the inside. Oops. Keep it in mind, it would be mirrored. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Oh no. Wait a second. I think that part of him is on the sword. Oh. Whoops. Well, I guess we're combining those two. I'm not gonna try to fix that. Alright, so we're gonna erase this. Now I'm trying to think of tattoo ideas after we were discussing it earlier. Is my light too bright? I feel like my glasses keep, like, doing that anime thing when, like, they, like, push their glasses up and it's just white reflection. But it's somehow less cool when it happens to me. Okay, that curve is not harsh enough. It's pretty bright. Yeah, let's fix that. They're driving me crazy and I'm not even staring at it straight on. Oh. So that wasn't the culprit. Definitely no doubt what nationality you are. Oh, thank you. You mean skin tone? Ethnicity? I could be super white from Europe. My accent did give it all away. Where's the light control? Ah! So much time messing with my setup. No! Wrong! Pardon my green screen freaking out. There we go. Oops. I just turned it off. And now it won't turn back on. I messed with it! And now my green screen is messing up. Please turn on. Don't make me actually try to get down there. Plug it back in. Slight little problem. It's like, nope. Come on, sir. Turn back on. It's gonna make me get up. We're gonna try to, like, be right back. making sure everything works. Okay. I think that's better. It's still a little shiny, but not as bad. I feel like they keep making iPads bigger, and the newest iPad is 13. Man, really? 13 inches? Wow. I think mine's only a 12. Okay. Now we can go back to... Yay! Okay. We're good. Besides fixing my, lighting, I had to use the restroom, so it worked. I'm gonna add a bigger arch here. That might be too much. Let's edit that. There we go. Doesn't exactly match. I don't know. That was a little tough. I feel like I need to go in and fix it. Yeah, I'm so happy that I got my art stream set up because I have basically, since I started streaming a month ago, I think now, I have wanted to incorporate art as well as gaming. And I just did not have the ability because even though I had the capture card, I did not have the stand I needed. I think even like a couple of cords I needed. So I'm very happy. Never did much art in general, but I used to get on MS Paint, make the entire screen one color, and erase everything by zooming in super far and doing it little by little. That sounds satisfying. I used MS Paint a lot when I was little, but I didn't usually do that. I would color in the whole screen, and then I would use the lasso tool or the eraser. I think I'd use the lasso tool to like do big cutouts, like just cut it out, and then I would go in with the paint bucket and do like a stained glass kind of thing. And then also, I didn't understand that when you use the magnifying glass, it didn't actually make your brushes bigger. So I would do these really, really, well, to me, they were elaborate paintings. But then when I'd save them, it was just this big up in the corner. And I couldn't figure out why that kept happening. Because I did not understand the concept of zooming in does not equal actually resizing it. There we go. That's cool. That is really cool. Okay. So, have those swirly things. Same as the other one. And also these kind of little crease jigs. Up to it. Tough. It's a lot tougher than I thought. Oh no, I hate that. If you hold it down too long, it'll just turn it into a straight line. Like, stop it. Oh! Ah! No. What? This part would at least look kind of the same. Whoa, I missed that. I saw a chat pop up, but then I didn't see what it said. check and look at my chat history. I don't want to miss anybody's chats, so pardon me. There we go. What was that? Said, I guess it forces you to work fast. Oh yeah, with the holding it down? Well, as long as I don't hold it down, like hold the pressure down, it's fine. Yeah, and I'm not gonna have... What are you gonna do on the left side? See, yeah, I was just thinking that. Maybe some sort of, like, scaled pattern? Or that's where I do, like, the gemstone effect on the sides. Side. Need to at least get an approximation going. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do want it to be similar enough that you don't do like a double take or triple take. That's not. Yeah, I think that's fine. I do need to be like do the more like scalloped edge on that one side. Come on. Okay. So high. After suggestion. Really good for focus too. Back in, isolate some of these. All right, so now we're gonna figure out what we're doing on that left side or right side. It would be his right. Left's our left, but matters. I'm just being pedantic. Well, let's see what happens if I add a couple gemstones. I don't know if it's just the audience effect, but I feel like a really good artist right now. Alright. Now. Sure. Oh! Up. Up, maybe. Up and out. Maybe we make the gemstones the same green as his eyes? What did I just do? I don't like the fact that they look kind of like gross, like embedded in leather. I think it needs to actually be something added on to it, because it kind of looks weird. I don't like it. I'm sure that could be gross, but no, thank you. Operator, no! What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Oh, Warframe. I need to get back into that game. Keep talking about it with Mad Cat. He plays Warframe. And I want to try out that Soulframe game he's been streaming. That one looks really fun. Just my aesthetic too. What I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to see what sticks. Alright, I can't go any thinner. There we go. And now I'm gonna add this. There we go. That's where the +1 comes from. It's the magic stones. Ooh, coloring this is gonna be a beast. There we go. Look at that. That looks pretty neat. Not bad, if I do say so myself. That like really turned out good, I think. Okay, so now we were talking about the trophy thing for the... Oh, what do you call it? All I have to do is draw every hair on his body. No. No, that's not how that works at all. I am gonna have to do something with that sword handle. Let's find a good reference for a fantasy belt buckle. Nope. Alright. Yeah, I have to search with my thing off, lest it bring up something awful. Can't see. Apparently I cannot type. What we got? Ooh. Okay. Right. I'll see what I'm looking at. Interesting. Design your own buckle. Ooh! Look at this one. With the claw in it, we can make the gemstones match the ones in the van braces. That might actually work. I like that. It's square and not circle, but I still work. I can turn off this reference box. Go. Or you could do the one that says custom and flavor it like you ordered that one. I couldn't think of a name. Ordered it from where? The local town. I mean, I suppose, but it would have to like be in the common language. It's kind of funny. See, I like doing it this way where you can actually see what I'm doing, because when I do recordings, just the screen record, it will just automatically do the full transform of what I'm doing. You can't see the process of me actually moving the corners. Alright, so claws. Yeah, I don't think I'm into that custom idea. So it's kind of funny, but it's a little bit like, I don't know, fully fourth wall breaking. I don't know what you call that. It feels like a little too meta. I don't know. Again, perfectionist. And I cannot get perspective right. Right, here we go. That looks not great. How do I fix it? Maybe it's just a matter of not going far enough with it. That's gotta be it. It's been such a long day. It's nice to chill. It still feels a little off. I think it's maybe because he has those etchings in it. I'm like guessing. Oops. Oh, the scales kind of radiate outwards. Okay, okay. Let's go back. Alright, so the way we're gonna do that is to do it this way. Kind of looks like it's made with actual dragon claws or lizard claws. And then there we go. I'm just gonna have to just do the scales freehand. Setting up the guides are really kind of Alright. So we're gonna go this way. Sorry if I'm making you all dizzy. This is as small as this one goes. It's fine. I'm quibbling over literal details. Woo! Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. Upside down. He is. Ta-da! Wow. That was a lot of agonizing over the hideous part of referring to the buckle. The whole design. Now what can we do? Now I've got to do the sword. Like, I need some... My antlers fell off. I need some good design bark on the sword. Maybe some chips in the blade. So this basic kind of... Make it larger. Kind of do some uneven line work. The eraser here. Like this. Alright, let's try that. I'm just gonna go back in with our sharper pen. Kind of showing off how thick it is, maybe? Maybe I'm making it too wobbly looking. Yeah, I think I'm making it too wobbly looking. Let's try this again. So the blade is kind of at this looking angle thing. And then that. Okay. I might have this whole thing. So we're gonna take this corner. Whoops. Ooh, we're gonna take this corner. Change that blade geometry. Just better. Okay, I have totally like not done this correctly. I have not done this correctly at all. Let's try it again. This is why I had the blade on separate layer. Alright, we're gonna distort it. Point the blade backwards slightly. I still want the Tonto edge, but it's really not. There we go. That's better. That is much better. And then I can take those mid lines accordingly. I want that back line pointing backwards. Woo! Excuse me. I need a tissue. I think those lines on like the blood groove lines are throwing me off. Completely throwing off my whole vibe. It's giving pasta. Down with it. Down for it. Now we got a problem. Now the liner on the leg is messed up. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix it. Whoop! Nope. Whoop! Almost. Whoop! Nope. We need a thicker line, dude. Just a little bit of thicker. There we go. Is it perfect? No, but nothing is. Nothing is perfect. Ah! There we go. And then his tail. This is why you keep things in different layers, and I wasn't able to do that. Perfect. That's a lot better. It's a lot less overly massive like the Buster Sword, but it's... I feel like it makes more sense now. Just for argument's sake, let's track the handle to the tip. Yeah, there we go. So now the handle... There we go. Yeah, perspective is not my strong suit. I can kind of cheat it with the... What do you call it? my whole system, Procreate. But it's not, it's still not something I use. Got a lot going on. So hasn't everybody? Thing, the world doesn't stop moving. Going through something. It just keeps on spinning. Everybody's going through something. Good, bad, tough, manageable. Everybody's got something going on. That's why, you know, you see those posts where it's like, you never know the battles. Which, don't get me wrong, I fully support it. But, you know, it can be frustrating if you're going through something really hard. To, you know, to really struggle with the idea that nothing ever pauses. Nothing ever takes a break. And we kind of get the, you know, when you get stuck in your own things, it can feel really frustrating and isolating to feel not only misunderstood, like people don't really get what you're going through, but just that nothing pauses for you. Nothing waits on you to get better. Nothing waits on you to feel better. It just goes. Whether you're along for the ride or not. And that can be hard. But at the same time, the world keeps moving. Which means good times may pass and turn into bad times, but bad times pass too. So there's always a bright side. It's not always as simple as saying, well, look on the bright side. Really good seeing my focus face. Still feel like those lights are too bright, but I'm not trying to manage that again. Wow, that's so much better. Look at that. It's amazing what the detail on the line art can do. I'm thinking that maybe I just have I struggle with taking the time to detail. There's always a bright side, which seems to be on the other side of the planet. Bruh. Felt that to my core. Absolutely. I don't know. And sometimes you gotta want, like, the light at the other end of the tunnel actually freedom, or is it just a train? I'll put chips in the blade, but I'm not gonna put like full on. Well, say that. Never mind. Crack in the blade. I know that would normally be like structurally unsound, but this is a magic weapon. We're good. Now, when it comes to the red sigils that glow when he uses it, I don't think I'm going to add them in the line art. I think that's going to be purely a color thing. I have to look at a little trick I want to use. Speaking of color, it's probably about time we go back into the flats and fix all the detail work we did. Yeah, see? So we're going to actually switch to our flats. We're going to start coloring in the spots we need to color in. And then, like, erase the spots we need to erase. Whoopsies. This is where the lasso tool can also be helpful, because then it'll make sure you don't erase anything but what you marked out. So we're going to do that. Not going to color. You know, remembering to turn that stupid setting off and on is one of my biggest pet peeves with myself. Turn that big. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. As far as the belt, these go. Okay. This is on. Now we gotta turn color fill back on. The loops. That's what I was trying to say. There's the color of the pants. The belt. There we go. Oh. Now, as for the leather, I think if we just go with that kind of that bronzy gold color, pick this orange and then kind of take it down a notch, bring it over a little bit, more into a brown, more into a yellow. See how that looks. We're going to use our pin. It's a little more precise. I don't know, chat. I don't know. That might be a little too orange. But actually, I don't know. It's kind of growing on me the more I do it. This, friends, is why I generally use the lasso tool. Doesn't have to be exact because the extra lines can actually kind of add a little bit of core. Now we're gonna get those facets. Is that what I'm trying to say? No, not facets. Really. Settings. Gemstone settings. It's amazing. Coloring was a lot easier than drawing it was. I hope they don't look like growths. I really was trying to avoid that. I don't know. Is that too orange, you think? I don't know. I think it looks good. But, you know, could be better. Kind of the worry. But then again, everything could always be better. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. That's what I always gotta tell myself. Alright, I don't want the thread to be the same color as the, tooled decor. So I'm gonna find a different color for that, but that's still, adjacent. So maybe if we take this more in a yellow direction, kind of desaturate it, and we can kind of oh, that might have been the color I wanted. Chat, I think I messed up. Well, no, don't. Go back. Let's try this again. Yeah. That's nice. That's much nicer. I like that a lot more. But I don't think the orange was really a waste because I really like the accents of the orange behind it. I'm going to use that orange more for the thread. Because a lot of leather thread can be kind of those orangey tones. It's quaint. Too quaint. Dude, the song is making me sad and I cannot figure out why. I think it's just what is that tune? It's a Zelda tune. Or it was. Whoop! Not that. Whoopsies. There we go. I'm glad the sad one's over. I really don't know why it was making me sad. Okay, that's good. I like that. Let's go back to the orange, and we'll do that on this. There we go. Much better. I think we'll probably make the gemstones like that same emerald green. Or no, we'll make them more like the stone, the sigils in his sword. So we're gonna do kind of this weird coral orange color. How that looks. Highlight the shadow. And we're gonna have the big gemstone belt buckle match. And have that same kind of goldish color, like the majority of the buckle. Wow, it's amazing how much progress you get done when you actually sit down to try to finish something. Struggle with just focusing on one task for 1 hour. Which, I mean, fair. ADHD and all that, but still, we finally are able to get into focus. You know, my life. It's gonna change my life forever. Half a second, I was so scared. I'm like, oh no, did I actually go to the right layer? Okay, might make those claws like black, yeah, more of a blue, like a bluey black. Yeah, that contrast. Then when the shadows come in, kind of take it more of a black. But check out this pixel problems. Oh, see the overlay? Like I'm layering twice. It's changing the color a little bit. Annoying. It is what it is. I'll have to remember that when we're shading later. I really don't need to be pixel perfect, but it really annoys me when it isn't. Excuse me. Woo! That was possessive. Forgot we had to recolor in some of the body here. Recolor I might need to do different flats for the sword though. So I can layering, right? Yeah, I think I will. I will color the flats. Whoopsies. Why is that doing that? Okay. What the heck? Did I go like on the wrong pixel? Oh, because the sketch, yeah. Oh my goodness, that's not perfect. See, that's where we get problems with the sketch layer. I'm wondering, have we done enough where we could lose the sketch layer and it still be fine? Or do I still need to use a guide? For just a moment, we're gonna remove it just so I can get these colors accurate, because I don't want them to vary too much before I shade. Once I'm like shading, it's fine, but then I want color variation. There we go. Much better. Now let's bring that sketch layer back. Or we can turn the line art off. It's actually not bad though. Pretty good. That's a really cool posterized look. I might have to save that for later. We're gonna call this one Sword Flats. Now, we're gonna have to pick something for the blade. It wants to be kind of a silvery, but not blue tone. Too silver, but we're just needing first look the chips. Oh. Excellent. Okay. And then just kind of some basic red gray for the wood grain, I guess. Oh, it's over it. I'm really trying to get better about sticking with my palettes. Because a limited palette is so important when you're trying to make colors that synchronize really well without getting kind of lost in the weeds on color theory. And it makes characters more readable if they're not too many wild colors at once. Wow, I'm really liking the way this is going. I think maybe my biggest problems are just haven't been taking enough time. Some light tan shading bends in the paints. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I should probably put some line art bins. Can we take our... I'm really... where I like have a hard time with clothes. I have like a whole book on clothes. Let me look it up. Let me look up a pair of like loose fitting shorts and see where the bends are. Give me a second. There we go. That's even a similar color. I mean, it's not a woman, but here we go. I like do that. There we go. Yeah. Kind of like it's gonna mostly be a shading thing. I don't think I need to even put too many lines. One area where it's not as loose, but yeah, there we go. It's a fairly good approximation, I think. Wow. Well, uh-oh. Yeah. I'm gonna do that over and over and over. Popcorn. I forgot I had popcorn. All right. So basic. I feel like it needs a leather wrapping. Something. Either way, though, you can start doing a little more detailing. We're gonna do a layer for shadows and a layer for highlights. And we're gonna group these. Shadows. We're gonna make this a clipping mask, so I can't actually accidentally go over it. Lights. And then we're gonna do like highlights. This is also gonna be a clipping mask. And then this one can be highlights, which doesn't need a clipping mask because I tend to go over on it. In fact, I tend to take my highlights like over the whole thing, even the line art. Wow, look how long we've done without the sketch. I don't know if we need it anymore. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. I'm still a little attached to it. I think I'm going to take down the opacity, so it's not completely gone. Alright. Let's see. Whoopsie. Just made a mistake. Oh. There. Now, back to the flats. Whoa! No, sir. Back. God, I need my eraser huge. Was concerning. Also, with his nails, we never colored in his nails. Look at me remembering which layer. I'm so proud. Gordon was right. He does look like he has cute little his nails. I'll add some highlights to distinguish them for now. Alright. Let's get into shadows. Now, the easy way to do it is to just do a multiply layer and do the same color. But that tends to make things muddy. If you're gonna do anything, you do color burn, or actually just select a shadow color. Which a good rule of thumb for shadow colors is you go darker but more saturated. Now, I mean, that's not universally true. It's just a general rule of thumb I picked up. Also, you don't want your shadows to be too fuzzy. You want them to be sharp and well defined. Now watch me completely blow this because I said all that. Now, that looks a little extreme, but you can still modify the opacity. So, get the shadow shapes in, but modify the opacity. And then, if like things are the wrong color, you can go and then modify the whole layer together. This looks a little crazy to start, but trust. What shadows under the biggest pieces of fur? And already he's getting some good dimension. Problem is, my jagged edges aren't being as jagged as I want on the backswing, so I have to be a little more intentional with that. Alright. Also, we gotta decide where the light's coming from. I think we're kind of going like this direction. people like flat out every single aspect of the outfit. I don't know why they're doing that. Like, sure, it's good for precision work, like for clients, but just trying to make a believable, passable character design for this guy. So far, I think it's going well. I do think he needs a little shadow within the lips, though. Now we're getting into where I'm defining things with shadow that I didn't define with lines. Because sometimes if you do too many lines, you can end up making things a little more busy than you intend. And while the marks are still there, there's a lot more definition. Now, I'm still having some problems with scribbliness, but that's when very judicious use of an eraser and a blender now, I say all this like I know 110% what I'm talking about. But half the challenge of art is just winging it in a believable way. Like, you know enough that where you can just kind of wing it and it looks right. Not to mention, I can always, fake it till you make it. Exactly, Mad Cat. Now, the problem here is this area is a little too symmetrical. Like, it actually needs more asymmetry. It's too balanced, which makes it look like way more artificial to me. So, I'm gonna go in with the eraser. Just kind of cut some of these shadows down a little bit. Clean them up. Oh, you know what we can do? We can actually go and find that ink brush. Let's try this one. Nope, too big. Size. Whoops. That's not working. I thought it would. Alright, let's try that. Let's actually go and try the ink brush now. Alright. So now we're erasing, but we're erasing with a bit of texture on the edges. Maybe it's not working at all. And I can fix this. Do it more in patches instead of like tiny scribbles. That's a lot better. It still looks a little grungy, but you know, kind of want some grunge. I think we're gonna actually start using a little bit of the blender in just a few spots. Not too much, but just a few spots. Because we're gonna have some multi-toned fur coming off of this. I just want some spots to be softer shadowed. Give kind of the idea of individual hairs without having to go to that level of detail. I'm mostly narrating my thought process more than trying to give any kind of tutorial. Take what you will from it. Like I said, I'm not the most proficient character designers, especially not in digital. But I think that looks pretty good. Kind of really, like, it really gives them that scruffy look. And then want a little bit of shadow under his pin, and then kind of following where the shadow would go along his limbs. Kind of have a little bit of a turn. Terminator Shadow, for those who don't know, is the boundary line between shadow and midtone. But it's the furthest, not the furthest away from the light, but it's literally that boundary line. Oh wow, we got some OG still in remixing. Really played through that one. Past that stuff. Always trying to be conscious of the fact that furry, so they're not going to be clean, smooth shadows like they would be on like a hairless skin. But because he's anthro, he still has that human-esque tibia. This starts to give us a definite. Now, another good rule of thumb is to remember that darker colors and cooler colors visually push things back, and lights and warm colors pull things forward. So what you start doing when you're doing light, at least what I did with flats, is I make the flats the midtone, as if it was the local color, with no shadow, no lights. What is just the hue I want? Then I start trying to sculpt dimension out of it. I'm not the best with anatomy, but I'm passing. There we go, and then get some of the individual toe shape. I think some people I was telling about my art stream were very confused by the idea of it not being a tutorial. Like, no, I'm trying to entertain. But I guess, for some people, the only reason they would be watching somebody how to draw is if they were learning how to themselves. Which is fine. It's kind of like with people who don't understand Let's Plays, though. It always kind of cracks me up because it's like, why wouldn't you just go play a video game yourself? It's like, why don't you just go play football then? Alright. I'm done with most of these shadows. A little bit of ambient lighting. Also, you have to remember kind of the geometric shapes of the 3D objects that make it perform. And where the light's coming from. Again, I'm not the best at lighting, but I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So this part will be completely in shadow. See how I'm overshooting my line work all over the place? That's why you use a clipping mask. And I played that game so much. My cousins had a SNES. And that was fun. Honestly, some of the best memories I have of my childhood are video games. Now, later off stream, I might add the nipples, but I'm hesitant to do so here. Because I don't know if it still happens, but Twitch used to flag you drawing that sort of stuff, even on like male presenting figures. So, not sure if that's still a thing, so leave it alone. Alright, now. Oops, nope, never mind. I completely forgot. Dude's got hands. Shadow. Now, one thing I used to do a lot was use Gaussian blur over the whole shadow, and I'm gonna use just a touch of it to see what it looks like, but I don't want to lose a lot of that definition. See, that just doesn't cut it. You lose so much dimensionality when you do that. It's better to just do hardline shadows, and then kind of erase to them as you kind of cut out. Is it perfect? Nah. Is it good? I think so. I might cut back a little bit. There we go. That's a lot better. I didn't want it to look like it was just pure like sideburn. I don't wanted it to be. Because this is the underside. Now, I need to pick a different color. Orange, we're going to go dark. Alright, see the problem with this is too saturated. Because even though that one, the example is more saturated, I think it went too far. We're gonna undo that. Pick a different color. We're gonna back off on saturation because with how light this is, any saturation is gonna feel like a lot of saturation. Much better. Much better. I don't know how Twitch feels about all that, but. Find a cake. Actually, I'm pretty sure that belt loop. Oh! See what I mean? You don't do this and then go on to the next one. This whole belt loop would be in shadow. Except for that one part. And we'd have a little bit of shadow under the belt. All the way around. Well, not all the way around. Like in a crescent shape. There we go. And the terminators where it starts turning away from the light. It's kind of a square shape, squared shape. And yeah, yeah. I'm probably gonna cut. Oops, popping popcorn everywhere. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. Cut back this. Ooh, I like that dimensionality that texture adds. No, I'm not going for fur. It's like lighting on specific folds at this point. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. See, his knee would also catch the light a little bit more. Which means we're gonna hold the eraser and we're gonna hold the brush so that we're painting the current brush. We're gonna take it down a little bit. That was a bit much. Whoops. There we go. Erase a little again. And bring this back. Cool. Okay. I like this. I like where this is going. It feels believable to me. Very anime so far. At least that's how it feels. Maybe I'm trying to take it too far now. Cut back into that. There we go. Goodness gracious, I'm dropping popcorn again. Note to self, don't eat popcorn when you're trying to draw. You can maybe do it when I'm trying to play a game, not when I'm trying to draw. Apparently. Will I continue to eat it? Absolutely. Alright, Alright. And it's time for lights. Now lights, exact opposite of shadows. You want to brighten it and lessen the saturation. Oh, but first, I forgot. You know what? I might need to shade the bracers completely separately. Because they've got so many colors going on with them. I don't know if one shadow fits all would be good. Let's do the belt first. Saturate it a little bit darker. That local color is already really dark, so I don't think I need to worry as much. And where are we gonna have it like go? Just where's the light? Oh, there's gonna be a patch of light right there, and then a cast shadow from the handle of that. And then cast shadow from the buckle. Not a huge one, but not an insignificant one either. Because that buckle does stand out a little bit. And that means we need a cast shadow. Because the sunlight is coming like here, like from here. Can't show you. The sunlight's like coming from here. It's gonna like do this number. All right. Alright, we're gonna try to do shadows in the eyes, more saturated or dark. Just do a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. out from the pupil. There we go. Gemstone. Easy peasy. More saturated and down. Put in these little facets. It's not like this glassy surface. So there's like all kinds of like these little shadow facets in there, and a lot of the lights will end up covering that up. But they'll still twinkle where they catch the light. So underside, backside. Ooh, too big. That's where we're gonna have the lights. I want to make those more jagged. Cool. Now we're going to the lights. Local color. We're gonna go brighter and or desaturated and brighter. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the shadows, but keeping in mind where the light is, where the sun is pointing, and not where not where the light would be. It would be a turn away from the light. Why is this not working? All of a sudden. Stop it. You want to be fairly judicious, because even though these aren't highlights, these are your strongest, well, second strongest colors. And highlights, of course, are going to be the brightest bright, and they tend to go in the middle. Bro's looking a little bit like Obstagoon in Pokemon. Remember, we can always like erase and cut like back in to a shape. Wanting to just give definition in the other direction. Sculpting that same idea of the light colors. We're gonna do the blurring. Since it's only pushing around the lights, long enough for the night sleep medicine can be. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful night's sleep, Ella. I'm not gonna be on for too much longer myself. It's getting to be that time. I'm definitely gonna have to. I may end up finishing this like off screen, but if not, I'll just use the line art for my game, and then kind of do the colors, finish the colors later on screen. I don't know. We'll see. Good night. Thanks for joining me. Take care of yourself. So we're still. And you can go a little bit more ham on the lights. Get them more wispy, because anywhere there's gaps, it's just gonna look like less individualized fur. You can blend that a little bit better. So that's my thought. And you can really sculpt it to kind of follow the shape, the underlying shape. Fur. Can't blur out. Just erase. Bring back the shapes where you went too far. I'm gonna add some realism, but maybe I'm overshooting the texture a little bit. That's entirely possible. Because I really like a lot of texture, and maybe I'm overdoing it, but I just kind of bring it back, mute it down. There we go. Some of that long fur. Might take the opacity down. See what that looks like. Pretty good. Stuff on the face though. That's what's really getting me. Even the shadow isn't working. I thought it would. It just looks like a wicked sideburn. And that was not my intention. I wanted to add some cheek fluff without overdoing it. I think I overdid it. Somebody's cosplaying as Wolverine. It's still there, but a little bit's fine. A little bit. Now, with this, I'm just aiming for some kind of fur shapes. I forgot myself a little bit. I need to go back in with the solid instead of the fur texture. That's why I was overshooting the texture a little bit. Now I can go back in with the eraser, texturize it, and it doesn't look like I forgot it. Really kind of sculpt this a little more. Since I want it to be more like a lighter patch of fur instead of just fur hitting the light. It's actually lighter in color. I could just be getting tired. I'm not knowing which way is up anymore. Oh, there we go. That's better. Nope, don't overshoot the texture. There we go. That's a lot better. Almost done. Let's go into the shadows. There we go. We're back on the right track. Alright. Add some patches of lighter lights to his tibia and knees. Again, these aren't highlights. They're just lights, and they need to be a little gentler. Maybe a little gentler with them than the shadows. There we go. Sometimes I forget to shade like comic book artists. Even if that's the style I'm aiming for. I really feel like I didn't do enough shadows on the tail. Because this should be all the way away from the light. Something is still getting to me about his face. I think I just need to let his face kind of stand alone when it comes to the shadows and lights. And kind of let more of this stuff in his neck do the talking. As far as the definition. Not 100% sold on that. Maybe it's just a matter of repositioning the shadows. I have to do kind of some experimentation here. Because again, I'm learning myself. That'd be easier if I just followed as he's working, but now I'm kind of like, too blurred. There we go. That's what it was. I was dragging the shadow from the wrong end, I think. I just wanted a slight bit of definition from the edges. And I wasn't doing that right. See, that looks a little bit more like he's like actual fluff going into the neck rather than sideburns, like cheek fluff cutting the sideburns. Alright, highlights. Actually, take the brightest white we can. We're going to just take an ink. Well, not an ink. We're going to take a pen. What is that? Why is that? What? Purple? Oh. It's because I took it bright. I did not take the hue desaturated. Whoops. And then we're just gonna kind of follow the form a little bit where it's catching the light, just distinguishing it from its counterparts. What happened? There we go. I know, I need to do the lights and the gemstones, but I'm about to get off here, so I'll have to come back to this. Whoops. Whoopsies. Totally did not forget to do his nose or anything with the lights. Just a little. Little tiny. Ooh. Crazy there for a second. Alright. Before I call it quits. Excuse me. Ugh. Before I call it quits, I am gonna fix the lights in the room because I forgot. And I really wanted to do this. So we're gonna go green. And we're gonna go less saturated and much brighter. Just touch it these, we already have kind of a bright, light color. Definitely, in this case, it's a little more saturated. That might be just a secondary. The heck? Dude, go back over here. then now we can really make those lights. So brighter, less saturated, or yeah, less saturated. Like gemstones have all these kind of conflicting lines and stuff. Now I'm gonna go to highlights. Right here. Oh, and one of my favorite things to do. It's totally like unnecessary, and it probably is too much. But if I go to my classic library, I have these. What do you call them? Elements. Where is it? I'll find it here in a second. It might be in my luminant brushes. Lens flares. Diffraction spikes. Love diffraction spikes. So we're gonna do. We're actually gonna go above everything. Move this. A little small. And that's what we're gonna do for that, just because I wanted to. And honestly, guys, I think that's gonna do it for me. We're not done with this. Like, I need to do the sword. And I still, yeah, I pretty much need to do the sword. But for the most part, no, he's done. I think I need to put, like, his name. That'd be good. Add text. Let's find a good font. Font is so important. That's pretty good. Ah, that's really good, actually. Michelle failed. Not Michael. How dare you? I hate when it does that. I want the name. And is there a way to get? Oh, I have to do the outline myself. I forgot about that. What little trick I found out about text is to duplicate it. Oh, right. You alpha lock it. Well, first you have to rasterize. Then you alpha lock. You take your outline color, fill the layer, you unalpha lock it, then you're going to want to do automatic selection, and you're going to, whoops, okay, we're going to turn off this layer. Why is that happening? Alright, so we don't want to, oh yeah, want to do the selection, but not all at once. I don't know why it's... Oh, wait. There's a way to do it. I cannot remember. Before you stopped alpha locking? No. I can't remember how to do it, chat. Way to take the text, you auto-select it, and it'll like start filling in a lot more. Just kind of like have to use the automatic. Selection threshold is not wanting to work because it's alpha locked. Doesn't have to be that far. Maybe it's just because it's too close. Wait. I think you have to make it like slightly larger than your original font. Maybe that was the problem. And then just kind of do this, and then auto like threshold select. No, it's not working. But I kind of had it there for a second. It's not as simple. Honestly, the text features on this one are not as good as some others. It's not terrible. Maybe it's just better to pick up happy with. I've got to remember how to do it. I think it was with, it might have been with handwritten text. You could do it a lot easier. But I want the name. Yeah, we're not done with this. We still need to get the sword going. Like, I've got a decent amount of work on the sword. I want to add some, floor shadows and some magical effects. But, for now, I think it's good to call it a night. We worked on it for 3 hours. So, I thank you all so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun. This is pretty successful for my first art stream, I think. So, thank y'all so much. I really enjoyed it. And if you want to ever catch a replay of this, you can check out my art channel. I'll be uploading the VODs to that. I'm planning on doing some actual art videos, but it's gonna take some time for me to kind of get the swing of things, especially with me being sick. So just give me some time to incorporate it all before I get to making more refined stuff. Yeah, every Monday I think I'm gonna start doing art streams from now. It was really good. And I'm so happy to have my antlers. Just I love them. I love them so much. So y'all take care of yourself and have a wonderful night. And I'm gonna go try to get some sleep. Hopefully the sore throat doesn't last so long. Good night, Mad Cat. Thank you for all your help, as usual. Take care of yourself.